11 to 8, look, July 1, it marks many changes in our lives, and some we're just expected to take in our stride, and I think that can be said about tolls on the road. In fact, it's more than just tolls. In fact, you will find 70 road fees increasing from today. It ranges from the tolls, obviously, and the biggest slug is the M7 toll will now be $7.56 rather than $7.37, but there's increases to the cost of paper statements, so someone needs to explain to me how that can go up 35% using credit cards. There's extra charges, licence fees and the rest. Is it fair, Col? Are we getting a return on our payment? Let's bring in the New South Wales Shadow Roads Minister, Walt Secord. Good morning, Walt.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
I'm very well. Well, we've got a whole raft of increases today. Lane Cove tunnel toll will now be $3.10. M2 motorists paying a maximum toll $6.23. Are motorists getting value for money?
Well, with the revelations earlier in the week that the roads minister admitted that they'd squandered tens of millions of dollars purchasing homes that weren't needed for the WestConnex, it's hard for them to justify whacking motorists and increasing, your photo ID, you're getting a new driver's license by $4 or $5 when they've themselves admitted that they've squandered tens of millions of dollars purchasing homes that were unnecessary. So, they can't put one test to the community and not to themselves.
Have you got a comment to make on, look, the cost of paper statements for e-way tags? Now, I still do get a paper statement.
So do I.
They're going up by 35%. 35%. It's like, where is the extra cost in the production of a paper statement?
It does not cost $3.
Stamps only went up 10 cents.
It does not. It does not cost $3 to issue a paper statement for the tolls. I get mine every quarter, and it does not cost $3. So I think that is, again, another cash grab. That's an 80-cent increase, and that's about 25 to 35% increase. So, and there's also another increase on transactions that if you pay by American Express, it's going to go to 2.19%. And then if you want to reissue your 5-year driver's license, a $4 increase. So across the board, if you apply that to 70 different categories, that's millions of dollars a year.
Absolutely, that's right. In isolation, one person, you're talking a matter of cents. You add it all up, we're talking a big amount. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Andrew.
Just highlighting some of it, the New South Wales Shadow Roads Minister. Now let's get an independent opinion, if you like, who doesn't have a political position to take. Peter Khoury, NRMA spokesperson. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Andrew.
Well, look, do we just... I mentioned the expression, take it in our stride. Do you think we do, that motorists just do... It's July 1, at some stage in the year, tolls are going to increase? Do you think we just expect it these days?
Well, when it comes to inflation, that's pretty consistent. Most things do go up with inflation, but just like anything else, if you're going to pay more, you should expect more. And the NRMA's view is if tolls are going to go up, and these agreements are signed between the government and the operators when they first sign up to build these toll roads, if we're going to be putting the toll roads up, the price, then we should be making sure that we're doing a better job of giving people value who use that road.
And do we have a platform, and this is a point which has been raised many, many times on Talkback Radio, that when these motorways, these tollways have it just seems like endless roadworks going on. We are not getting the full service we're paying for. Can we possibly get some sort of rebate? Can we get some sort of relief from that?
Well, the problem you have with that approach is that if you, for example, when they were widening the M2, they were widening the M2 to make, again, deliver more value for the motorists, and we supported that. It should have been built with 3 lanes, but they were widening the M2, and there was an argument, well, why don't you take the toll off it while the work's being done? The problem is, if you take the toll off it now, the toll operators are only going to make their money later on anyway. But I think the onus needs to be on, well, there's 2 things. First of all, the onus needs to be on making sure that people who are using that road are able to get through that road as fast as possible, obviously within the speed limit. And what I mean by that is making sure the operators are putting money into emergency response, clearing the motorway, putting plenty of signs up before you get to the motorway. If there is traffic on the route and you don't want people just joining the end of the queue, that's the first thing. The other thing that we don't support, which is now starting to come out, is extending the toll on one road to pay for a brand new road. And we're now starting to see that with NorthConnex, which was the government's announced motorway that will go under Pennant Hills Road. So they're now saying they'll extend the toll on the M7 to pay for NorthConnex. So that's another thing that we're not supporting.
I'm just doing some maths here. If we follow CPI increases, and we're now talking about 2048, the M7, I'm thinking we'll be paying a toll of around about $17 every time you use the M7. Surely It doesn't reach that, but that's just basic mathematics. I think I've got it right. We'd be talking about $17 by the time we get to 2048. I don't know whether I'll be driving around at that stage, but there you go.
Well, you're right. The other thing too is if they price themselves out of the market, people just won't use the road. And we saw that originally when the Cross City Tunnel opened, it was too expensive and no one used it. So it's the operators have also got a job to make sure that they're charging their product at a level that people are prepared to pay.
All right, Peter Curry, appreciate your time as always, NRMA spokesperson.